The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.
We're so thrilled to have back on the show an incredible triple threat artist, singer, songwriter, and an incredible guitarist with a brand new EP out right now. Lindsay Ell, it's good to have you back in.
It's so good to see you, Eric.
I felt like you were here like a day ago, and you're like, no, Eric, that was like, 3 or 4 years ago.
I know, time flies fast when you're having fun.
Come on. I like keeping up with you. I need a separate map, like a Lindsay Ell map, with all the flights and everything that you do between Las Vegas, Nashville, and Canada.
Me too. I need a map to catch up with myself.
But I mean, it's so many amazing things. You've certainly been nominated for awards, but also won a lot of awards. You're hosting a TV show in Canada. You're playing with Shania Twain with a residency in Las Vegas and on tour. Oh, and you've got your own solo tours with your own hit songs and a brand new EP out. Love myself, and we want to talk about this. I know you recorded this EP in New York.
Yeah.
But it seems like to me, it's like you're fully sharing your emotions in this.
Yeah, honestly, I put so much of my heart into this project. I feel like the past couple years of my life have been a couple of the most healing years that I ever really have experienced. Right. And because of that, I wanted to put it all in music. That's what I do, and that's right. What I know. And I got diagnosed with an eating disorder like at the beginning of last year. And because of that, it's sort of been this slow unraveling of, okay, how can I really accept the girl looking in the mirror back at me, and who is she and what is she like? And I think for so long I just numbed out so many feelings, like you can numb out with a lot of things in life with, drugs, alcohol, food, in my case, or the lack thereof. Guitars, amen, amen. And yeah, so the past couple of years has just been, okay, what if I actually start to feel those feelings, and what if I actually write songs about it, and what if I actually try to take those words in and really understand what they mean. Right. And I wrote an EP called Love Myself because of it.
Well, and listening to the EP also, and certainly I love all your past songs, and anytime I can hear you play guitar, but also your vocals and your lyrics, Lindsay, just keep getting deeper, and I think you went deep into the well on this one. And I know several of the songs on this EP, which thankfully will be on vinyl too, touched me. Because I think that so many of us, are trying to heal and trying to grow and get past it. So do you feel like, I got to ask you, besides self-healing on this EP, what's the goal for your fans and listeners and people that love to come see you on tour?
Honestly, I really wanted to make a project that sounds how my band sounds live. For a long time, I had people ask me, like, we'd love you to make a record that sounds like actually how you sound live. And I remember coming to Nashville, I've been living here 15 years now, and wanting to be a female John Mayer, like meets Sheryl Crow, meets 1975. And I feel like I finally have that project. I feel like compared to how I used to create music is like, it needs to have this sound and it needs to be this thing, and then it will be successful. I'm just making music that feels good, and that I walk into a studio and I'm like, this is very exciting to me, and I cannot wait to share this with the world. And then I think that's the sweet spot of it, I think that's where the magic happens.
The EP caught me off guard because I was so used to your past songs and a lot of things you've done. And also I was a little concerned because I was afraid I wasn't going to hear any of your tasty guitar licks, which I got to those.
I got some in there for you, Eric.
Which I appreciate. But it's like, it seems that also, and certainly, like we talked before, when I've talked with Brad Paisley and he's raved about you, and Keith Urban, and you've been out with Buddy Guy, you've been out with guitar icons, but also now I feel like it's the Canadian Mafia to where, you're with Shania Twain, you'd been out on the road with Shania, and she taps you and goes, I want you to be the guitarist. So besides your own solo career, particularly with this new EP, you've been playing in a sold-out residency, 3 to 4 shows a week, 14 guitars?
Yes, so I play 14 guitars throughout the whole show. It's been wild. Honestly, like, sidemanning was never something I thought I was going to do in my career, because I'm just used to like fronting a band and doing the thing. And yet when Shania asked me in January this year, I was like, how can I not do this? I mean, she's the queen. And this was the music that I learned how to sing on, you know?
Right.
Like, I remember that first single, one of her first singles was called No One Needs to Know. And it was like the song that I taught myself how to sing on. And now I play that song with her on stage. She's 3 feet away from me. And some moments I'm just like, is this really happening right now? Like my 8-year-old self,
Right.
like singing songs into my mirror with a plastic microphone is now with that like generationally changing icon.
Right.
And in her band. And it's just been the dream I never knew I had. And she is so wonderful. They say never meet your heroes, and I will say Shania is absolutely the exception to that rule. She's just so wonderful and generous and smart. And
Right.
It's been amazing to be able to learn like hands-on from not only an icon, but one of my role models.
Well, you know, and what amazed me, and once again, you know, you've earned this, is to where when I saw that you were playing with, you know, with Shania Twain, with the Las Vegas residency, and obviously on the tours and everything else, is that I remember one of our first meetings in Nashville, and you mentioning how she was one of your influences. I'm like going, that's like that whole full circle there.
It really, really is. Yeah, it's a good reminder that you can make anything happen in your life. You just need to want it bad enough.
Well, and also I think, and I've got to brag on you, because I think it speaks to your talent and how, you know, you're able to be a chameleon to certainly play your own shows. You've toured, you've headlined, you know, you've had #1 hits, you know, and so to be able to accomplish that, but then also to be a side woman musician, playing 14 different guitars, including acoustic nylon string.
Yeah, it's,
you know,
her show is so incredible. I mean, we've been touring a little bit all around the world. We spent a month in Europe this summer, which was so fun, and played Glastonbury, which is just such a wild festival. It's like one of the biggest festivals, actually the biggest festival I've ever seen. Like I've been to Coachella and I've been to ACL and I've been to like massive festivals, but Glastonbury is just like out of this mind, out of this world. So Glastonbury and Hyde Park, and then her show in Vegas is literally all the hits. So top to bottom of the show is just
at the Planet Hollywood.
At Planet Hollywood, it's
one of the
so
best
much
venues
fun.
in town.
Yeah, truly, it's
I mean,
beautiful.
sound-wise, I mean, I've been there a number of times, and it's like, what a great gig. But in between this, you know, it's like, well, what, almost 200 dates on the road for 2024.
Yeah.
You know, between, you know, doing your new EP, which is amazing, playing with Shania Twain, and then also, then you host a little TV show. Candy's Got Talent.
It's been so fun to get into the world of TV. I'm coming into your world, Eric.
You've been in the world. You're taking over the world. I mean, because you started this in 2022.
Yeah. This is our 4th season now, which is so
gosh.
exciting. And, you know, to get to learn from the likes of Howie Mandel. He's a judge on AGT, but also is now a judge on CGT, obviously. And now I can invite Shania into my world. So it's been like, she's been so kind to invite me into so many aspects of her world, and now I can invite her into my world. And she is an incredible judge. Like, watching her give, specifically the musicians and the singers advice, it's just so heartfelt, and it's so wise. And yeah, I cannot wait for this.
But you know, watching you on this show also, Lindsay, I've got to bring up, you handle it so professionally, so seamlessly, just like you've done other events and the way you handle everything on stage. But to be able to keep that organized with the judges, with the talent, when to get out to commercial breaks. I mean, it's like, you're juggling so many things. I mean, I think next it's got to be like a documentary and a book, or
Bring it on. I mean, I've always wanted to write a book, but I just feel like that's like a little bit further down the path.
Right.
I have, you know, a few Grammys to win first.
I think you can do it, especially considering, I mean, didn't you just recently win another Canadian award? I think Humanitarian Award?
Yeah, it was so wild. I also thought, like, isn't this so early in my career to win a humanitarian award? But I love being able to use my platform to give back in any way. And I started my own foundation called the Make You Movement after I released a song on my last album about my survivor story as a little girl. And from that, we've just been able to raise so much money and help so many causes around the world, really. And so it was a huge honor to get that.
Well, and I think it's so huge also with everything that you've gone through, Lindsay, but also everything you continue to accomplish, sharing your story honestly, which I know is not easy to do, but also how it's helping other young girls and women also.
Thank you.
And I think that's, you know, what's the, if you can save one starfish, I was thinking about that and just what all you're accomplishing with this. But I think back to, starting out, guitar and singing and songwriting, as a young girl. And then Randy Bachman of Bachman Turner Overdrive discovers you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Randy became like another dad to me growing up. And my parents were huge BTO and Guess Who fans.
Me too.
And so I remember the first time he came over to our house, like he pulled up in a stretch limo. My parents are freaking out. My mom's like, is the house clean enough? And he comes in and is just the coolest dude and puts his feet up on the coffee table and is like, let's write a song. And so it's been, and ever since that, I mean, he's still been my biggest fan in a lot of ways, and we still are like, let's write together when you're in Nashville or I'm wherever you are. And he is like the epitome of hard work. I mean, he's in his late 70s, I believe.
And still raves about your talent.
You're so sweet. I mean, he's still touring. He's still touring with BTO and like doing the thing. And I'm just like, okay, that's truly hard work. Like at that level of your career, you've been doing this 6 decades now, and you're still at it. But
you've applied that yourself. I mean, with your solo work, with your incredible songwriting, and once again, talking about Love Myself, it's such, every song in here you can tell came from your heart, and that you were just giving it your all. In the lyrics, in your singing, in the guitar playing, the instrumentation. It's like, to me, a lot of the songs on here seem like they would fit so well for TV and film also.
Hey, it's your mouth.
I'm just, I don't know if you've heard of this little thing called sync, but I'm thinking this could be the EP for that.
I hope so. I mean, I just hope that this music can be heard by the people who need to hear it, you know? And if I learned anything from releasing that song off of Heart Theory, my last record, music is so powerful, and it's this like universal language that brings us together. And I can write a song, and then a stranger on the other side of the world can hear it and be like, okay, I'm inspired to go to therapy or to reach out to my family or to reach out to this friend. And it's just like, wow, that is so powerful. It's like this other way we can communicate. And so I just hope the EP is heard by anyone who needs to hear it.
I think it will be. I think you're opening doors, not only for yourself, but for others. And in the meantime, Fender is sending you the new Buck Owens Telecaster and Buck Owens acoustic guitar.
I'm going to drop it off so Eric can have a little hang.
Haven't even got to play them yet, so I assume that those are going to go to Las Vegas also. And maybe be on stage, or for your own solo tour.
Who knows? I will say, if you need to check out, so I'm super into Ultra Strats, like the Ultra Stratocaster that Fender came out with a few years ago, and they're my favorite now. I play them.
They're doing so many great things with
almost wholeheartedly in my show. And but they came out with, it was the 70th anniversary of the Strat, so they came out with like a purple 70th anniversary Ultra Strat, and it is my favorite guitar I've ever played.
And that would match nicely with like a purple vinyl album.
It would perfectly match a purple haze vinyl album. This vinyl album is so beautiful. I'm just like, can I wear it as jewelry? I'm just gonna walk around with like a vinyl on my finger.
You need to pose your dog Jimi Hendrix next to the vinyl.
Totally.
And it's like it completes the circle.
That's definitely happening.
I think you need to. Well, I want to make sure for our viewers, it's so good to have you back in studio. It's like I always enjoy your new music and the incredible success that you're enjoying, but also deserve website-wise, social media, for everything going on with the new EP, the TV show, and playing with Shania Twain. Lindsay Ell, where do they need to go?
Just lindsayell.com, Lindsay with an A, E-L-L, and on all socials, look for that blue check. And thank you so much, Eric. You're always so supportive.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I'm so thrilled with everything that you continue to accomplish. Be sure not only to add this new EP to your playlist on whatever forms you listen to, but get the vinyl, get the purple vinyl for Love Myself. And I'll tell you what, also I would recommend this, and I'm sure Lindsay would speak to it as well. Share this music with a friend, particularly somebody that needs it. I think this music is going to touch a lot of people, like you have with previous songs. And congratulations! I can't wait to come to Vegas and see you in Residency.
Thank you so much.
And the TV show and everything else. I mean, it's like you're like going to be like Howie Mandel, doing all these things.
I mean, I'll just follow in Howie's footsteps. Howie, I'm coming for you.
I'll tell you what, be sure and check out this new album. The EP is Love Myself. Lindsay Ell, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Great to see you.
The Rocket Review is sponsored by Why Not Saloon.